So we are live.
Recording in progress.
So hey everyone, and welcome to Nerdy Up North podcast. This is part 2 of our Pixar talk, and this is the Nerdy Podcast hosted by Northern Nerds. I'm one of your hosts, Sam.
And I'm the other host, Paul, and we have returning Charlotte and Jake, who graciously give up their Tuesday nights to finish what we started because Sam nearly died.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
You make us sound much more exciting than we are.
I know.
And thank you for everyone in the chat as well. Like I say, thank you for joining us. Like I say, we'll try and have a few conversations with you from time to time as well. So we did start talking about the Pixar conversation as Sam turns off the volume on.
Sorry. I forget that my mic's new and it can pick up everything. Sorry. My apologies.
Bless her. She gets excited that she still sees herself there.
I just like to see the chat and see what's going on.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
So we were talking about Pixar films. We were talking about like our favourite ones and ones that, like say, meant the most to us. We did get a little bit emotional. I didn't expect to cry a little bit, which did get to us when we start talking about Toy Story 3. And I'm not going to go there again because it was too much. But yes, but I thought, like I say, interesting starting point, like I say, with the conversation, because I know when the Pixar films did come out, there was a lot of films that did come out, and Disney actually did produce a few films their own that kind of tricked you, that thought they were Pixar films, but they weren't actually made by Pixar or by the producers. It was like Disney own, or I think around the same time as well, DreamWorks was trying to get into that market with like the likes of Shrek, How You Train Your Dragon, and stuff like that. But I think when Disney ones that own self-produced, the first one I think they brought out was Bolt, about the dog. I don't know if anyone can remember that one.
I remember it.
I definitely saw it, because wasn't it like Jonathan Travolta was Bolt or something?
I'm sorry, Jonathan Travolta?
Was it?
Did you know? It's John Travolta.
Oh, sorry. Jake was giving us his proper name. That's fine.
It's not Jonathan, is it?
I don't give a crap, Scientology man. Bolt the Scientologist dog.
I got really confused there.
Oh, we've mentioned Scientology. They're going to come for us now. Where we are knackered. They're watching us. They're always watching. But yeah, there was like an influx of Disney films that came out that looked like Pixar, and you thought, oh, this must be the new Pixar film, but they weren't. Because I think Tangled came out at the same time. There was, I'm trying to think of the others, Moana, of course. That does have a Pixar feel, but surprisingly isn't Pixar. And also Big Hero 6, which, to be honest, if you saw Big Hero 6 advertised the way it looks, you would swear down that film was made by Pixar. But was really big surprise that it wasn't.
We're missing probably the biggest two.
Mm-hmm.
Frozen.
Yep, which I did on purpose because I hate it. Yep. And what was the other one?
Encanto.
Encanto was the new one as well. I know Laura in the chat, she's a massive fan of Encanto. It's just, like I say, we don't talk about, what's he called?
Bruno.
I haven't even seen it.
I bet you've heard the song though.
It's that's actually an interesting one, because I guess we've had like Encanto and Turn and Red come out like really close to each other.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, like I can't really say I noticed any like massive difference apart from like knowing that it was like a Disney thing and then a Pixar thing separately. But I don't know, it's strange that they've bothered to do this split, but. Like, I don't know, do you guys notice any differences?
I think the biggest difference I notice is in the music, because especially in Big Hero 6, there was music there, but it was a big spectacle. It was just sort of in the background, and a lot of it wasn't like original music written for the movie. It was music that Disney had stole.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. But like with Encanto and Moana and Frozen, they wrote original music for it.
Yeah.
And I think the animation's slightly different, especially in the people. Like the people in Encanto and Moana and Frozen, they all have that kind of big eye, slightly pointy chin, sort of heart-shaped face to them.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think that's because when Disney saw what Pixar were doing, they moved away from the 2D lineal drawings, like say from our childhood that we love, to like say the computer generated thing. I can't remember the last Disney one that was done pencil drawn.
Was it not? And me and Michaela had this conversation not long ago. It was really like late on.
They went back and did Princess and the Frog. But
I love Princess.
do you mean like what the first original Disney thing might have been?
Well, the last one that was used, like say that type of animation style, shall we say? Because I think they cottoned on to like the Pixar, as Charlotte said, they stayed very close to what the old drawings were like. If you look at Tangled and Frozen, it's got a very like Beauty and the Beast, like Little Mermaid, big eyes, pointy chin, face. But as Jake pointed out perfectly with Encanto and Turning Red, they've kind of leveled off, and they are like, see, if you put them back to back, you wouldn't be able to tell which company did who with it if you took the logos off the things.
What was the one they did that was like half animated and half live
Enchanted.
action? Yeah. Was that not the last one that had
possibly
like hand drawn stuff in it?
Possibly, and like I say, we're getting a sequel this year as well, so we'll find out if they do go back to that as well. But as I think, Goodwill said in the chat, the cell drawing was the Princess and the Frog, I believe.
Right.
Yes.
But it's just when they made that move, I think, again, it's probably down to cost effecting. We can probably make a film faster using these techniques than having like so many artists sitting there painstakingly drawing one piece at a time. But I hope in the future we do get them type of movies again for us, because they do have a little bit of magic to them, or a little bit of character.
Like a heart. There's a lot of heart in there. You can tell there's hard work being put into it, so it kind of makes it more special. I get that.
They seem to be, if it's going to be hand drawn and stuff, they seem to be saving that for like their cartoon shows.
Yeah, possibly.
There's a lot of hand drawn, sort of new hand drawn stuff on Disney Plus and that coming out.
Like the shorts and stuff like that. That the keep
Yeah.
doing.
I don't know whether that's just a time thing. They can probably do a short quicker than they put out a film.
Possibly. It's good. The one that does always confuse me though as well, because I know the car films are all Pixar, but they did a spin-off called Planes, which again isn't always the most brilliant one, but it was done by Disney, not by Pixar. So same type of world, but kind of branching out, doing the things. But I think now the only real difference is if it's got the Pixar logo in or not. But I think, Charlotte, you hit the nail on the head perfectly. It's the music. I think the big difference, because the Pixar movies do have great scores, but they don't have like the musical numbers or like say, well, Coco probably just blew my argument out of the way there. But...
No, not really, because like that's just one song. Like one song continued out throughout the whole thing, whereas you've got the likes of Moana that has like a complete original like soundtrack for each song. Can I just ask a really possibly going to come across as a really silly question, but what's the relationship between Disney and Pixar?
They started as a separate company originally, where like say it was like Disney kind of hired them to do Toy Story,
right?
And then Disney, they were going to branch out and then could be completely different from Disney. Then Disney done the whole flex and went, I'm going to buy this shit, and basically bought it.
As they do, right? I didn't know.
It was the beginning of Disney owning the world.
Pretty much.
There's a bit of a weird like offshoot history with like Tron as well, because obviously the hired visual effects people who were like pioneering stuff. There isn't actually that much visual effects in Tron because it was so early on. Yeah, a lot of it is just recoloring, but there is like, you know, the light cycle chases like computer, and they apparently had to like type it all out manually. Like every bit of code was typed out manually and fed into a computer like for every second.
Yeah.
But so I think you're right, Paul, in that they had a relationship, and it was probably to do with like Lucas Studios as well, like Industrial Light and Magic or whatever that is.
Yeah.
So I think it's like they've came back and forth, and then I think the guy who ran Pixar ended up quite high in Disney. So I guess
John
it's like
Lasseter,
a bit of...
wasn't it? John Lasseter.
Yeah.
A lot of the writers crossed over as well for films. A lot of the Pixar writers ended up writing writing for Disney, and a lot of the animators, like obviously the storyboards and stuff, ended up working for Disney. So it kind of felt like the natural progression of things.
Yeah, because I think when you look behind the scenes of them making the Pixar films as well, they still storyboard everything. So so everything originally doesn't start out like on the computer. Everything is hand drawn like on the storyboards, and they've got all the things on the wall, like the entire film. It's beautifully to see. When, like say, it was my dream when I was a kid to be there, but unfortunately the thing with talent not being able to do it of it. But I think has anybody seen the documentary of what it's like to work at Pixar? I've been to the studios.
It looks like so much fun.
When you go, because like when you go to this is going to blow your mind a little bit, Charlotte, as well. When you go to Hollywood studio, they've got like a Pixar thing, so they've got rooms where they've got the artists and they show you how like you can go in and talk to them and show they're not that working on the films, but like the people that's worked on old films, and they show you the drawing, but they sit you in an old timey like theatre. And I think through the years they get different characters, but when we did it, we had Mushu from Mulan talking you through the process of creating Mushu, like all the different dragons, saying that you start off as like a big like horse dragon and stuff that he was like massive, and then he shrunk it down and give him his own personality and stuff, and this showed you through the whole process. I think it was honestly one of the most magical experiences I ever had.
So before it was that, it was a cell studio. And when we went, so bearing in mind, I was going to Florida from the age of 15 to about 22. The first year we went, it was a cell studio, and it was literally just a bunch of artists sitting at what they're called, the thingies. And it was showing
boxes and stuff.
And it was showing you the process of cell creation, and it was Simba. And they were doing Simba at the time. But I don't know if I should say this or not. My friend, who is he's an artist in Los Angeles, he's been to the actual Pixar studios where they do all the work and took secret photographs. It looks fucking incredible. Like it looks
amazing.
Fucking incredible. He's done some commission work for them, and it's just it's unreal to look at it. I don't even know if I should say that. He's probably not watching.
Well, to be fair, we do have a Disney artist working in Sunderland. I don't know if you know about this. The lad who runs 666 Studios, Bez. He done the artwork. He done the artwork for the Jungle Book too.
Yes. We had a massive email back and forth years ago because he was going to do some work for Anth. That didn't turn out, but when he was telling us his credentials, he mentioned
Jungle Book too.
That gosh, I forgot about that.
I think there is a bit of some Marvel like computer artistry stuff that goes on up north as well. So I guess when it's like computers, you can kind of do it from anywhere. But I've definitely heard about people who like done some design on like Thor and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. Harry Potter Studios. Some of the people that graduated Sunderland University done the CGI on Harry Potter.
Wow.
Isn't there two like big gaming places up here as well?
Rocksteady has a used to have an office, I believe. Again, I might be wrong. I might be saying the complete thing, but I know Destruction Derby was made up here as well.
We've got some talent up in the northeast.
Just like I say, it's got a shitty podcast as well, but not saying that.
What a way to bring us down! God.
I'll always keep us grounded, don't I?
Yeah, humbled.
Yeah.
But, to be fair, like some of the art that gets posted in the group from some of the members is unbelievable. It always blows us away how many genuinely talented artists there are in the group as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. My best friend's one of them. No.
But I'm sure after Toy Story there was a bit of ambiguity between Pixar and Disney. There were going to be like a complete split where Pixar was going to have nothing to do with Disney for a long period, just because. Sorry.
Was it not because Disney were trying to undersell them to do Toy Story 2?
Well, they were trying to save money. They like say they weren't like wanting as Disney, they don't want to pay for like the work they got. But Pixar, like say, having the balls to think. I think it was I think me and Jake said before, John Lasseter was the guy in charge, and he just decided, right, we can do this without the power of Disney. And I think they started a project, and as soon as Disney got wind of it, they absolutely shit themselves. And rather than trying to negotiate, they just bought it.
So Pixar's got balls, basically.
Oh, 100%. That's why they can pick and choose the project now. They don't get told what to do. They probably got told to do Toy Story 4, but that's another argument for another day.
I don't think there's any telling in that. I just think they naturally script and they went, yeah, let's do that.
Fucking
I'm
4.
sorry, I'll still die for it. Oh, come on, Foggy was brilliant. Oh, you wouldn't have Duke Kaboom. Like, come on. You've got to give it something. Keen and Peele were hilarious in that.
True.
Was it needed?
Thank you.
Was it needed?
Yes. I got a good chuckle out of it.
But yeah. But
I guess like that. I guess that goes on. Like saying Pixar basically had all like everything in their favor. I guess that's why we did get like so many copycat studios pop up, like with DreamWorks and stuff like that. And
but we got
what's the one that does Despicable Me and everything? That's like a different
God,
studio,
I really
isn't
hate
it?
them
I
films.
think it was DreamWorks as well. I think that it was under the same umbrella. But they got some strange films. Like we got Cloudy Thingy Meatballs or something.
That's a really good film.
I knew someone was going to say it.
I'll tell you what's a bad one though.
Brilliant.
Links back to Pixar as well. Ants.
Oh, this is so bad.
It was
Sylvester
it was-
Stallone and Woody Allen. Wasn't it?
Woody
It's
Allen?
no Bug's Life, that's for sure. But it's basically the same story for some reason. They thought we wanted to look at ants in the 90s.
It's one of
To
them
be
things.
fair, though, sorry.
No, it's fine. When, like, say, that film came out, they pretty much did copy base for base. Like, even though they made the mistake of making the ants try and look realistic and human,
Yeah.
and that just was creepy as fuck.
Oh, yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares.
Didn't it come out about the same time? So it was like a direct rival as well.
6
Yeah.
months
I
before,
feel
I
like
think.
it did, yeah.
It was same year, but it was a big race to get the first out first because I thought.
The first ant
Who's,
exclusive.
exactly, who's sitting in that boardroom going, right, bugs,
We get what goes out first.
let's go.
'Cause I think I'm sure I watched Ants first, and then like say, what's this Bug's Life, and totally forgot about Ants after watching Bug's Life, just because how beautiful, colourful, and scary Bug's Life was as well at the same time. Because the grasshoppers were terrifying.
I can't picture now which grasshoppers were in, because was the grasshoppers in the other one as well, in Ants, or it's at Bug's Life?
I can't remember.
I don't know. I feel like the bad guy in Ants looked like a muscle man or something. And
There was the grasshoppers and ants because one of them was called Hopper.
No, Hopper was
Yes.
wasn't
Was
Hopper
Hopper
there?
Bug's Life?
Bug's Life, yeah.
Look what they've done to us.
Yeah.
Confuse the shit out of us.
Yeah.
I think DreamWorks kind of accepted that they were never going to be as big as Pixar, but they kind of found their niche in the market
Yeah.
when they came out with Shrek, and they stopped trying to compete with Pixar,
Yeah.
and they came out with some really beautiful films after that. Like I absolutely love the How to Train Your Dragon series.
But they do know how to beat a dead horse. Like, how many Despicable Me spin-offs were Minions and stuff now?
Oh, they think them shits are
There's another
fucking
one.
annoying.
There's another one coming out.
Yeah.
I think that studio's called like Illumination or something like that, because
Yeah.
they're the ones doing the Mario movie,
Right.
the Chris Pratt Mario movie.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Bless.
Oh my god.
But I'm just looking up now because talking about Bug's Life, the bad guy was Hopper, and it was he who should not be named, Kevin Spacey.
Oh dear,
Oh.
can't watch that anymore then.
Tainted.
But just if you just look at the cast that they have, like Dale Foley, Kevin Spacey, Dennis Leary, John Rassenberg, Richard King, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, David Hyde Pierce, Hayden Panettiere, and like I say Phyllis Diller as well. That's just the cast of A Bug's Life. Like,
That's some big names.
Is John Ratzenberger? He is a director for Pixar, isn't he? And he normally does a voice in like each film. He's like Roz in Monsters Inc. and stuff like that.
he's
Is he?
I don't know if he's
Sure,
Raw,
that's him.
but he's Cliff Clavin from Cheers.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But I'm sure he's a director now.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
sure it's him. Somebody in the chat tell her.
Yeah,
Goodwill seems to know his shit.
but yeah, and Goodwill actually pointed out another one that was, I agree, quite unsettling because they try to make it too humanized. The Polar Express.
Never seen it.
Oh, I hate that.
I've
Yeah,
never
that's
seen it.
scary.
It's when
That was-
CGI try and do humans. That's the problem when they try and do it like too humanistic.
Yeah,
It was like
get the
motion
uncanny
capture,
valley.
wasn't it?
Definitely.
Because they
Yeah.
did they do it with a Christmas Carol as well? With
With
Jim
Carrey.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Christmas Carol and Beowulf with Angelina Jolie and Rhea Winston.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
But it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't
No.
meant to be. But yeah, like I said, I think with Bug's Life, like I said, that was the turning point for Pixar when it was, like I say, if other companies try to come for them, that I think they just stopped trying because Pixar just kind of wiped the floor with anyone that was going with them. Like I say, there's been a few misses, but when they miss, it's not really like a huge failure for them because there's always a target audience for them. Like Cars has Lightning McQueen, which is a brilliant character, but I can't get away with the film, even though it's got Paul Newman in, which is just sacrilege for me to say I don't like a Paul Newman film. But it's just, like I said, it didn't have as much impact. But how many kids love
Yeah, my
Cars?
nephews were obsessed with Grown Up.
Same. Yeah.
I guess
I
Pixar is
didn't
very
quite get it,
toyetic, isn't it?
Oh,
As
Oh,
you said?
massively. Exactly. Look.
He's still saying there, Affinity 2 and beyond. But like I said, when it does hit big, like certain films that like smashes out the park, like Finding Nemo, you can't get as much tragic beginning as well when we talked about Up. Like he's seen his mother getting killed and his dad freaking out when he's got his small little flipper because he can only swim in circles. But the adventure he goes on, you meet the turtles and Dory, and then the sadistic dentist woman when in the fish tank got like beating the fish up. It's just because we've all known kids have seen these kids in the past as well.
Even the sequel was quite cute. Like the sequel wasn't bad. Finding Dory.
Yep.
Oh, it wasn't terrible. It just it didn't for some reason for me it just didn't have the same spark as Nemo. But Anne loves Finding Nemo, like ridiculously loves it. I have a lovely pet name based off that film that Carolyn gave us. I get called Dory.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, Dory. So she called it for years, and when we were coming back from where we?
Where we were.
we were coming back from
Just keep swimming, sorry.
we were coming back from London. That was it. We were coming back from London, and the train got stopped, and she had as she always does, she had a notepad and pencils, and she drew out Dory for it. I've still got it. And then for Christmas, she bought us a Dory mug. I nearly smashed her over the head with it. I was furious. I thought, you think you're funny? Yep, there I am.
Mine.
Mine.
I think what Finding Nemo hit really well was like we just like seeing under the sea, and if it's like a beautiful cartoon version, even better, because like they did the same for Luca, which was a more recent one. Like that's like beautiful, like it's just like so colorful. If anyone haven't seen it, it's the one with like little sea monster boys who go on land and become humans when they're out the water.
Oh yeah.
And then that one's like set in Italy, so they've got all the like little rustic Italian town and stuff. But yeah, like they definitely know how to make like something look beautiful.
Definitely,
The colours they use, man.
And as I think we were talking about the other day, like when it hit HD, the Pixar films are the ones that shine above anything else. But I remember when the 3D TVs were the big craze, and I think Finding Nemo was the first one I actually watched on the 3D TV, and it absolutely stood out. I know not many films do 3D well because it's normally just like cardboard cutout sitting in front, a little bit like Mr. Fredrickson sitting in front of us now. But the Finding Nemo one was just absolutely amazing, seeing like the coral reef, like everything moving around, and like say you felt like, as Jake said, you were under the sea. But
it does a lot of stuff with scale as well, doesn't it? Finding Nemo, so I can imagine that looking good because like he's tiny, obviously. And then there's a lot of huge creatures in the movie and lots of like depths. But yeah,
I think the funniest bit of Finding Nemo is when he's in the fish tank at the dentist. I think I had some of the funniest moments in there.
Yeah, with all the anxiety-ridden fish that live there.
That's why I identify with it.
the best Jaws joke ever in another film. Like when they called the big shark Bruce.
Bruce.
And fish are friends, not food.
Not food.
But yeah,
What was that one that Will Smith did? Was that
Shark's Tail.
Shark's Tail. wasn't it?
Shark's Tail?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who did that one?
DreamWorks, I think. Again.
DreamWorks.
Ah, right, okay.
But again, came out at the same time as Finding Nemo, I think.
Oh well, that's shit. That's shit for them, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure I saw Shark's Tale at the cinema. I don't know why, but probably because it was Jack Black.
Jack Black possibly, yeah.
I think one of the best things about Pixar is they always challenge themselves each movie to go that extra mile with the animation, like Under the Water in Finding Nemo, or just Sully's Fur.
Yeah.
Yes.
Monsters Inc. Like they always just set themselves a new challenge each movie to try and better themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure I watched something about Sully's Fur, like not just about Sully's Fur, but it had it in there, and how long it took.
Because each
The
individual is
strand,
animated. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Sorry to swear, but it really, like, it's mind blowing the work that goes into this inanimate. Like he's just a drawn. It's fucking nuts.
But yeah, like you're right, like and also like there definitely are like technical showcases. You can tell they are like pushing things, but it doesn't take away from the story. Like you're not just watching something saying like, oh, that's a technical showcase and there's no like heart in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like video games sometimes do that.
Yeah.
Where it's just all technical stuff, but they forget the story.
Yeah.
Avatar.
Yeah, all stuff like that.
Well done, Charlotte. Brilliant call.
But yeah, I'm just sorry. I was just laughing at the chat because Kev's hashtagging Charlotte's wet again. So yeah, sorry. But like say when you look at, as I said, when you look at how hairy Sully is, you can imagine someone like Donna wanting to hug the TV, just thinking how cuddly and like say how nice it would be. But again, one of the ones we haven't talked about, one of my favorite Pixar films. And I never thought I would like it as much, just because it's quite a simple tale. But Ratatouille, it's absolutely beautiful. Like Remy and like say the whole, just the premise of it, and like how this rat likes to cook and wants the finer things. But like as you said, it never made Paris look more beautiful. And
the food tech as well.
Oh, the food.
Which they had a bit of in turning red as well, like when the dad was making food. It was like they've been slowly improving the food tech. But no, Ratatouille's amazing. And I just love like how the bad guy in it's like a critic, which is obviously it's obviously the movie writers being like, oh, let's take down a critic a peg here. But he turns out like, nice in the end, but it's just such a funny idea.
The first time I saw it, I was like, there's a rat in a professional French kitchen under this guy's hat. I was like, where are the food, like health and safety people? What is going on?
But then he turns up and the rats fuck him up.
And it is beautiful how they make Paris. I love when they can make Paris look rustic, like because it really is. I've been to Paris so many times, and it generally is rustic. Like it's beautiful, the scenery, and it really did it justice. How gorgeous Paris is.
Just you could smell the food on Ratatouille though. That was the thing. I think I love like when he's putting the ingredients in the soup, and you think, oh God, I just want to taste that. It made you hungry, and even like say Ratatouille is like as a dish is something I've tried and I can't stand, but I really wanted to eat that one. But I know you said the movie critic was the villain, but I think he was and he wasn't. But that little rat guy who looked like a rat, which was quite
true. Like the one who was stealing his dad's legacy. Yeah.
Dave has literally just said the same thing in the chat. Yeah, he says the critic a villain, never saw him as a villain. So yeah, you're not the only one who thought that.
Well, he had his little story arc, so he probably was a villaon. But when he
he killed his dad technically.
Yeah,
because he gave the restaurant a bad review, and then his dad died of shame.
Oh, well, that's an origin story, that right there, isn't it? That's a villain origin story.
We'll go all Star Wars
even Pixar killing off parents.
Just the mums, though, and sometimes the dads.
You've got to have a sad thing, but what was he called? The guy, like I said, he was such a I've forgotten now because there was Remy, that was the mouse. Gaston was his dad, but I can't remember. Was it Linguini? That was it.
Yes.
The guy that was Linguini, who fell in love with the sous chef as well. That was like I say, a nice little.
Again, like he was very well animated, especially how it was all like the rat making him do like wrong movements, which must be extra hard to animate when they've spent their entire careers like making people look normal. Like, oh, we've got to make someone look crazy now.
Great, but absolutely perfect. But yeah, Ratatouille is always up there with one of my favourite, like say, in the franchise. I know, like I say, the one that I've tried watching, but I've never been able to finish, The Good Dinosaur, which I should enjoy because it's got dinosaurs in. And I love anything to do with dinosaurs. If anyone's watched the new David Attenborough on BBC, that was over the bank holiday weekend, about the last year. Absolutely mesmerising stuff.
No, I didn't know.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. They're trying to find out when the meteor hit, and sorry to go off topic here. Just it was
go first.
So brilliant to watch. Basically show like how these animals died, and they're in this South American dig site where they're keeping this location secret because they're finding that much stuff. They don't want the world to know about it. But it happened, like I think it was 9,000 miles after where the meteor hit in New Mexico. But there's actually a layer of Earth where it's like got all the debris where the meteor hit even that far away, and little crystals that fish ate because that the ground had turned into glass into the atmosphere, then come back down. It was just mesmerising.
I need to watch it. I love anything to do with dinosaurs. I've just finished my Norse mythology book and just learned about Ragnarok, so I'm all about the ends of everything at the moment.
That leads into one of the ones we didn't mention. Disney's, I think it might have been Disney's first CGI film, was called Dinosaur.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrifying. That when you look back at the animation,
it is. But I think that was just before they bought Pixar.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it was like early 2000s.
I've still got it on VHS
because
there was a while ago.
There was a ride at Animal Kingdom that was called Journey to Extinction, and it's one of the most. It's a child's ride, but it's one of the most terrifying rides I have ever been on. Like Paul will know from the Jurassic Park ride when you have a T-Rex staring in your face. This one is literally here, and it is massive, like huge. I went on it the first time, but I've been on it a million times and had to close my eyes every time. It is really scary, and I didn't know if it had anything to do with that film.
It must do.
Terrifying.
It was a while ago it came out.
Yeah, because I think it was like Noah talking in it as well. If your memory serves us right,
there wasn't much in it. If I
thought it was. I thought it had like. I can remember the main dinosaur like having a horrible CGI smile. So I don't know. I thought they did talk. You might be thinking of Walking with Dinosaurs.
But it was like I say bizarre though. I remember watching it, but I can't remember much of it. So that shows you how memorable it is. Like I say, the ride in Florida is a lot more scarier than the actual film, but I think it
had a PS2 game. I know that, man.
But I think this was what scared Disney a bit because this is was their big flop. Because like I say, they pumped a lot of money and there was a lot of advertising, but it didn't do anything as well as I thought. But yeah, like I said, and the other ones, as we said, Incredibles 2 came out too late. It could have been something that wanted. I know there was a big marketing campaign saying this isn't for kids, this is what we've been waiting for, but it kind of wasn't.
No,
it should have just been the Avengers. Like they had the blueprint.
Wasn't there about the same time gap between Finding Nemo and Finding Dory though? And Finding Dory didn't do that badly.
I think it was just a more rounded story though, because people were
interested. Look who was advertising it.
Yeah.
You had Ellen, who would have talked about it every single day.
Yeah.
And she has a chat show where she talks every single day.
Every single day, yeah, that's true.
So the marketing would have been ramped right up for that one. I went to see The Incredibles 2 really wasn't that long ago, was it? I remember going to see it for my birthday.
2018.
Was it? Bloody hell.
Yeah, so everything feels a lot that probably doesn't feel that long ago, but it probably does now. With, everything that's came out. But I think with Pixar as well, what they do really well is the little shorts. So you always get
Yes.
the little shorts that come through, like the lava one, like say the one where the old guy that fixes Woody, he plays a chess game in the park as well. And there's
The
one
dumpling one, I watched it the other night because
That's so cute.
we finally got the telly sorted out, 4K telly sorted with the Disney Channel because it really was glitchy as anything. And Anne sorted it, and I said, "Can we just shove this short on just to see if it worked?" And it was the dumpling one, and I sat. Bearing in mind, I was very poorly at the time.
For the birds, the For the Birds short is my dad's favorite. My dad's a big Pixar fan. It is his favorite Pixar thing ever. He will watch that all day and laugh every single time.
I like the Mike's new car. He's excited to show Sully his new car, and Chaos in tunes. But
I liked the clouds one. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, they always do like little, like heart punching moments type thing. Bastards.
Yeah, it must be like the Up technique where they can just like make you cry in like a short like period of time, like a test.
But then they go like the extremes, like Jack's attack as well. Like when Jack's going nuts.
Hilarious.
That's
all we were waiting for though on Incredibles 2 was Jack and what his powers were. That's all we were bothered about.
Oh, I was looking at one, Paper Man. Do you remember that one? It's like all black and white. Like it looks like sort of hand drawn stuff, but that's like a quick heartbreaking love story type of thing. Yeah, check that one out if you haven't.
Is that one with the paper airplane one? Yes. It's absolutely stunning. Like visually, again, I don't think anything Pixar does that doesn't break the mold when it comes to them. But how excited are you for the next one though?
What's the next one?
Oh, Lightyear.
So
I see. Like that's another one where it's like, isn't that like a live action film? Nope.
I just remember the bloody debates on the group over it. My God!
Oh, about who Buzz Lightyear is.
Yes.
Why Tim Allen isn't voicing it? It's because it's not Tim Allen.
It's not the toy.
Yes. So we're getting to see how Buzz Lightyear is and his origins as well, which again, from what we've seen, they've not given out too much. I know we've seen a few of the toys and a few of the pops and stuff, which again very much excites me because it looks like we're going to get a real live action Zurg as well. So that's
Buzz's father, you mean?
Yeah.
If we follow Toy Story 2 lore.
I wonder if the class is canon.
Well, this is the thing though, because are they saying this is the real life guy or the cartoon character Buzz from the cartoon show that was also on the Disney Channel? It's a whole mess.
Yeah, I think the way they're going at this is going to be the live action person who like inspired the cartoon, the toys and stuff. So that's.
Do we think we're going to get a Woody one as well? If they're doing Buzz, do you think they'll do a Woody one?
No, because we've had Woody's story, Woody's roundup. I don't think they'll go back and try and put snakes in his boot and stuff like that. It'd be an interesting take, but I think they've got more scope to do with Buzz Lightyear.
And it's Chris Evans. Like, come on! I'm so excited.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
That cat's going to be the star, though. That Socks the cat
absolutely.
robot. That's going to be the big hit.
Any
you can always tell. Yeah.
But yeah, like say, I know, like say, we went over quite a lot in the previous episode with Sam nearly dying. Bless her. I don't know if she can remember most of it.
I can a little bit, yeah. Hazy, but I can remember.
Can I just give a shout out to Pixar TV and the most recent one, I think, which was Doug Days.
Yes.
Oh, I watched that.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was the last thing. What's his name? Who does Carl's voice?
Oh, I know who you mean.
It was the last thing he did, and it was brilliant.
Oh.
It was.
Mr. Fredrickson.
Yeah, Mr. Fredrickson. It was the last thing he did.
Yeah, the guy who
Why?
plays him.
Oh, right.
Why does he keep breaking our heart like this?
I know. I loved that.
No, we haven't really had much of Pixar TV though. That's the thing. We've had Doug's Days, but do you think that could be an element, especially with Disney Plus now, that they can break into like the shorts they do so well.
Absolutely.
I know we've had monsters at work, which I know Donna's a big fan of, which I kind of lost off, I think. But like say, even then, the voice acting in that, they had the guy, like they had the Fonz in it.
Henry Winkler, get it.
Henry Winkler was in
For
it.
the win.
But they had the original cast back. But what I like about Pixar, and I know they don't do it that much, they don't, like say, they like to test themselves. I know they've got the big hitters like Monsters Inc., Toy Story, and they do the odd sequel, but they don't rely on sequels. They'll go on and see what the next story is, and that's always quite an exciting thing. While we're just going through the last things as well, I know everyone's in the chat as well. We did say last episode we were going to do a Q&A, so if anyone's got any questions they want to ask Jake, Charlotte, Sam or myself, feel free to fire them into the chat, and when we round up I'll ask the questions and see if anyone has any good answers, shall we say, that we might have missed off. So
don't read any of Donna's.
Okay.
So Kevin, when was
so
the last time where you
Goodwill,
went?
come on.
But yeah, so what is your defining moment, would you say, for Pixar, like the standout moment that you cannot forget? So that when you think of Pixar, it jumps out to you straight to your memory. I know that's going to be a difficult one for you, but I think it'll be quite an interest, because I think there's so many iconic characters and iconic moments that Pixar have given us. I think it'll be interesting to know, because I think each one of us will probably have a different one.
Yeah.
Well, quite honestly, I think the introduction to Buzz and Woody, like the actual introduction to them, was phenomenal. And I don't think you'll ever find two animated characters who would have such an impact as what they two have had on pop culture. Look at Buzz Lightyear, and the Christmas his toy came out. It was the highest selling toy of the year.
I couldn't get one.
I couldn't get one. I was devastated. And I think, you see, and
these are original as well. These are original. First one.
If anyone's listening to us on audio, Paul literally has a Buzz Lightyear sitting behind him,
lording over us with his Buzz Lightyear.
He is.
And Woody's sitting next to Gizmo.
I see him.
Yes.
I think if I like, just as you said, if I jump straight to Pixar in my mind, I think it is that like argument that Woody and Buzz have, where he's like, "You are a toy," just like you're a child's plaything. It's like it's so animated, like the facial animation, even though it's like a wimpy cowboy doll. It's just like it was like mind blowing at the time. Like you weren't thinking for a second that these are like toys talking.
No.
Like they somehow got the motion capture like just right, where it didn't look weird and it just like sucks you in.
Sorry,
yeah, like
I can see some of the questions coming through.
They're awful.
Yep.
Leave them till we
I'm not reading them out. I can just see them.
Charlotte?
I think mine's probably Toy Story as well, but mine's a bit more morbid than everybody else's. Mine is the bit where Buzz tries to fly and he falls and his arm breaks off and he's just lying there, and just the look on his face when he realizes he's a toy.
And you know what?
I think
that's mine as well. That's
really that's all right then.
That he can't go sailing no more.
As Charlotte said, I think it's a magical moment that the realization that he is a toy, and that
to be able to do that at the time, because at the time the animation wasn't what it is today, and like to show the emotion on a plastic toy's face like that, it was amazing.
Isn't it crazy?
It's so clever.
It's crazy we all had a Toy Story moment. It obviously is the defining point of Pixar, because it's the one that not like started it, but it broke everything.
And it gives you everything as well.
Yes, and like I said at the last one, you could go back and watch that today and you'd think that was made this year. Like, it's perfect.
I'm a little proud of us there. I'm not made too much.
What do you think kids of today, like growing up on more recent Pixar films, what do you think their moment would be?
I'll probably say Monsters Inc. more than anything else. Like
Or Nemo.
Nemo.
Oh, yeah.
I think it probably depending on the age. We were lucky enough to be at the start, but
Yeah.
if the parents did things right, they'll do
Exactly. That's it. It all comes down to the parenting and how they show them. But honestly, I would still say Toy Story would still be up there.
Did you guys like see Toy Story at the pictures? Because like I don't think I saw it till the VHS came out, but I can like vividly remember picking it off the shelf and stuff like that. So it's clearly been like it's clearly a core memory.
I told you, mine came with the first ever DVD player we owned, so that's how I watched it.
I saw it at the cinema when the first week came out. I went by myself to see it.
Really?
Yeah, that used to be my Saturday mornings as a kid. Go at the pictures and see what was on, because like the people I grew up with were either stealing cars or causing trouble living in Riot. So I either had
went to the pictures.
So I either had a choice to hang about with, like, say, the people that I grew up with and do them type of things, or go to the cinema. Because I used to get the
You chose well.
I got the TSB vouchers, so everything I saw was for 50p. So when you opened a bank account with TSB, each month you used to get a pack of cinema vouchers. So good old that marketing advertisement there. Bring it back.
I don't mind going
TSB.
I don't mind going to the pictures by myself. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Yeah, but
at least I don't have anyone to talk to.
I was probably a 12-year-old kid though. So
amazing that
families used to take us in, used to buy us ice cream bars and everything.
I thought you were like a lost child.
Oh, this homeless boy.
So the little boy used to be sitting in the cinema, like, because with the old Empire, the ABC used to, like, as I said, I've mentioned in the podcast before, you used to have 2 queues, and you used to go around, like, depending on, because you used to only have 2 films on, no 4, because you used to have the adult ones later on. Like
adult ones.
Well, the likes of 7 and stuff like that. Like the 18, certificate 18. But yeah, like I say, I used to be always at the front because I used to get up in the morning, go to the pictures, wait in the queue for the film to start, and people used to just talk to us and, like I said, just take us in for that day. So
so you were the kid I was like walking past jealously and having to like go and stand like right round the side in like the back alley behind the cinema, because we and like wait for like 5 hours to see like what Super Mario Brothers movie. I don't know.
Right. So we've got a few questions now, so I'm going to fire these out. I don't know if they've been set individuals, so I'm just going to fire them out. So this one's going to go to Sammy. It's from Donna. If you could live in a Pixar world, what world would you pick?
Oh my God. Coco, 100% Coco. Living that Mexicano lifestyle. Absolutely.
Cool. So let's have a look. Let's see what others we've got there. So, Jake, what is your most watched Pixar movie?
Ooh, it's definitely got to be Toy Story, because I had that VHS and that was the first time I saw it, and I pretty much know all the words. So,
so this is from Gabe from the USA. Hi, Gabe.
Hey, Gabe.
Charlotte, who do you think would win in a fight, Buzz Lightyear or Mrs. Nesbit?
Mrs. Nesbit.
Yeah, sucking down Darjeeling.
Mrs. Nesbit, because Buzz cares too much. Mrs. Nesbit doesn't. Should beat him with that teapot.
I'm not asking the Munchkin orgy question, Goodwill. So we'll go back to Gabe as well. Sam, we'll go back to you for this one.
Yeah.
If you could have a best friend to any Pixar character, who would it be?
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's really hard. I'm
Instantly know mine.
I'm gonna say Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. Which version of Buzz though?
The Chris Evans one, or
Spanish Buzz.
I'm gonna say Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story 4, because that guy had his shit together.
Okay, so Charlotte, what is your least favorite Pixar movie? That's from Goodwill.
probably Cars, because I just didn't get it. Like, I don't think I was the audience for it. So yeah, probably Cars.
Cool. Jake, looking back at Disney's back catalogue, Which of their original movies do you think would work better as a Pixar movie?
Ooh,
It
that's
gets a
tough
hard one.
I think Aladdin would work pretty well because it's like it's still humans. But, like I don't really think like Lion King or animal movies would be that good. But I could see them reworking Aladdin, but just keep the voice tracks the same. Be great.
And again, we'll go with Sammy for this one. This is from Laura. So, if you could have one of the Toy Story characters as a friend, so out of the whole franchise, other than Buzz Lightyear, who would you choose?
Oh, Mr. Potato Head, because he's hilarious.
And he can
What about Sid?
And he can fit a lot of things in his ass.
What about that happy child?
What about you, Jake? Are you going for Sid for that one?
Oh, you know what? Slinky Dog seems like a really good friend.
Oh, Slinky Dog. That's my dad's favourite. He even has a Slinky Dog.
And that wasn't that Ernest as well?
Yeah.
Tim Varney.
Tim Varney, right? Yeah.
So he's another one who's dead, I guess, and they probably had to just use old clips in like Toy Story 4.
I didn't see it this time. Yes, my dad has Slinky Dog. He has that.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, he does betray Woody in the film and lets him go from the window when he's trying to get back.
Yes.
Didn't mean it.
He kind of took.
Did he?
He thought Woody was a bad guy. That was the thing.
Oh yeah, because of the hand thing. Murderer.
Charlotte, who would you choose?
Rex.
Rex.
Rex. Oh, Rex. He was so loyal. Oh, I want to change my answer now.
And anxiety ridden.
Perfect.
I'd probably go.
How about you?
I would go for Woody. I think Woody was a stand-up guy. I loved Woody. I thought he was right about every decision he made, and I would have got as frustrated with Buzz as possible as well. Like I was doing the podcast. I think I'm like the podcast leader, shall we say? And I am nobody's favourite. So
You are Woody.
Would you have got as embarrassed in front of both people as well, though?
Oh yes, both people was a slamming hottie. Yeah.
So if you're Woody, does that mean I'm Buzz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I finally get the host, I'm going to be like, I'm Paul. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
I've got a snake in the booth. Howdy, partner.
That's meant.
And Donna's asking, who's your favourite Monsters Inc. character?
Oh, Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
I kind of like Randall. Is he the bad guy?
Yeah. He's the Steve Buscemi
I just love watching his animation, how his head kind of stays in one place, but his body's moved.
Yeah.
Great.
We know yours.
Yeah, I love the furry guy. Big.
You really tried to word that good, didn't you? Sorry, it wasn't creepy.
To be fair, Goodwill's trying to get Paul's tits hashtagging, so yeah.
Tall Paul. Sorry, I just saw Tall Paul.
And what about you, Charlotte?
Boo or Sully, because Boo's adorable.
Yeah, little Boo.
Oh, she had to go for the cutie, didn't
She's
she?
adorable. Boo or Sully.
To be fair though, I would love to see us like if they were going to do a Monsters Inc. sequel, because I know they've given us like spin-offs like Monsters at Work. I don't want to hear the story from the monster side. I want to hear about Boo's story when she's grown up and how she's been and what she's doing now. That would interest me.
I want to see it as Boo telling that story to her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like a bedtime story.
Yes.
And convincing them that there's nothing
that monsters aren't. That monsters aren't scary.
Get on it, Pixar.
but as well, seeing Boo as kind of like a Laura Croft type character in the hunt to find the monsters again. Because
this gets better.
She's trying to like locate because she misses a kitty and she wants to get back to the kitty.
Who's got a direct line to Hollywood, Kev?
But they would break our heart and be like, I've got to let you go.
Or she gets there and Sully's dead.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Too far, Woody.
Maybe I'm called Stinky Pete now, so yeah.
I was going to say Woody would never come up with something like that.
Or maybe I'm Lotso. I'm a bad bear.
You don't realise how clear you guys are in my ears, so like that sounded so creepy.
Bless you.
God.
So yes, I think, like I said, that would be sort of story I would like to see. I don't think, like say, Up needs another sequel. Well, I don't think I want to see any more of Up.
No.
I think Doug's Days, that was a quite nice little ending. I don't know any others. I would like to see an Onward, like not a sequel, but in that universe.
Yeah, it was an interesting universe because it was like magic had gone, but they brought it back at the end, didn't they? So you could have fun.
Yeah, I would love to see like what would happen with the Manticore next, like or like a backstory of how she becomes so broken and start working in the restaurant. I think that would kind of like interest us. But I think Pixar does so well with the stories they're told. The only other one I can see them like getting so much leverage is Turning Red, like because now we've seen the teenage years. We've got to see her like growing up to adolescent. What happens when she has a kid, and she's going to be the mother figure. That would be quite a nice little story to tell as well.
And now we know that like the panda can just come back out if you break the seal. Like, you know, we could have many pandas again.
Yes.
I'm gonna answer. I don't know if Answer what he's working this weekend, but I'm definitely gonna get him to watch it before I go away. Like we watched the trailer for it the other. It's not a case of just like I've got so much. I've started so many series. I've now started Scrubs. In the middle of everything else that I'm watching, I start a new series. I need to finish these series.
But Gabe's just said, "Help me, Pixar doing Supernatural." I don't think they could handle Supernatural.
I'd watch it.
I mean, they could do like Ghost Hunters or something like that. That would be a fun one.
Ghostfaces.
No.
Yeah.
Imagine if Pixar got hold of Scooby-Doo.
Interesting.
Didn't they do like a Pixar version of Scooby Doo called Scoob?
There's been like
Scoob.
It was. We watched it during lockdown, and it was actually really good. It was computer animated, but it was really good.
Yeah, New Scooby Doo is actually good because there's like the Mystery Inc. or something. It's like a new take on Scooby Doo.
Yeah, because it was kind of like a prequel.
Yeah.
Because Scoob was the cutest puppy ever.
I want Ghost Faces now. Sorry.
Ghostfaces.
Yeah.
Ghost Faces were terrible. I'm sorry.
When we were playing that ghost game, man, he kept just going Ghost Faces. He's getting so annoyed.
It's just the worst thing ever. I do think we need to play hide and seek with that game though.
I'd quite like to see Pixar's take on Haunted Mansion though, because they haven't really done that kind of. They haven't really done that kind of like kid horror type thing.
Yeah.
I think they could do it really well.
I think they could do it a lot better. I mean, don't get us wrong, love the Muppets. But I really found that slightly boring.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like it was okay. And I don't want to shit on it because it really wasn't bad. But I just think that would be such an amazing idea. I like that.
I've just thought of one. And it's put a smile on my face. I'll never do it. Casper.
Oh.
Yeah, who owns Casper at this point?
Universal, I think.
Does
Yeah.
Because it's not on Disney Plus.
Casper.
No, but it's an Archie comic though, isn't it? So
yeah,
like,
it is.
Netflix probably owns it.
Most likely, but look at if Disney and Pixar want it, would they not just go and get it?
Yeah, they would.
You know what I mean? Like, would they not just throw money at it? Like,
Yeah, there you go.
Has
That was now.
Yeah, has Casper got like a primetime audience? Like us, yes, but like that would be a mint idea. It could like hit, but it would work now still.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on the phone to Hollywood. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, that was a good 90s movie though, Paul Casper.
Oh yeah, it was.
I was so upset. All my friends went to go and see Casper at the cinema, and I wasn't allowed to go because I think I was grounded. And I was so upset by it. Guess who got it from the dodgy man the next week?
Nice. I am.
My granddad got it for us. I was getting mint.
I got to go on the Casper ride because that's when I went to Universal. It was that whole thing where the chair goes into the basement and round all the weird stuff.
Love that.
And then you could see the ghost machine and like Casper was inside, like the one that turned him into a real boy.
Mint.
I'm just sorry to spoil a little love fest. Donna, fuck off. Pixar are not going to do
Yeah.
Orgasmo.
No, Donna, I just saw that.
You're banned.
Donna has to come and ruin it, doesn't she? We're having a beautiful moment about Casper, and she has to come in with Orgasmo.
I told you not to answer any of our questions.
You knew it was going to happen. You foreshadowed it.
It was too wholesome. It was too wholesome.
It was. Donna had to break it.
Oh, new name. Shall we call her Rose from now on? See how she likes them apples. But see, I would love. I don't want Pixar to move on too forward, but a more adult film feel like things. Imagine someone like Kevin Smith getting hold of like doing a Kevin Smith style film, but with Pixar's animation. I think that type of humor.
They could take Groovy Movie.
Yeah.
And turn it into something better than what it was.
Yeah.
Because that's the only Kevin Smith thing that's a bit that even I question. And I love Reboot.
I like Reboot.
Thanks, Charlotte. So yeah, I would agree with that. Is it Groovy Movie it's called? The animated film we did. And take that concept and put it with Pixar and it would be perfect.
Yeah. So
they could right some CGI wrongs if they want to from like the early days and be like, oh, we're remaking Beast Wars Transformers. It's going to look good this time.
I genuinely don't think Pixar has to rely on like remakes and reboots because I think Pixar's one of the very few studios out there that have original ideas.
Yeah.
Like
most 80 films.
I'm not having this from now till June.
When did Toy Story come out? Was it the 80s?
Oh, look at that! Look at that! She's made this so interesting. If nobody knows what we're getting at, we're actually doing a panel at SunnyCon in June where it's 80s versus 90s. It's Paul and Donna against Jake and Charlotte, and me as moderator because I've not seen enough films to get an opinion. Sister texted us and went, "Is it because you've not seen enough?" I was getting, yep.
You've seen loads.
Not enough, mate. I'll be sitting there going, not seen that one.
I'll lay the smack down on you candy asses because that's what I said.
I'm sorry. When did that catchphrase come about?
Oh, I need one of those like horns. You know, every time that. Charlotte is annihilating you.
It's only because I blew her away in the chat. Like,
oh, you did. That wasn't fair.
I brought her the big guns talking about no batteries required. And
batteries not included. I was like,
it's like, yeah, fuck you guys. And Jake come out, Power Rangers, come on.
Power Rangers is beautiful.
Right.
Ivan Ooze breaks sword and he turns into a bag on the floor.
But yeah,
Peak cinema.
But if anyone hasn't bought tickets, like I said, like the lovely
Please.
Donna runs an amazing like convention that's happening in June. It's called SunnyCon. It's for all types of animation, but it's not just animation. It's like I say, all types of nerd culture that will be there. Like I say, it's going to be amazing. Like the amazing Donna and Tucky have asked us to do this live in front of people, which I don't know if it's going to be a good thing.
I'm going to be the one pacing it, so
I'm going to have a mic in my hand. I'm going to go Kevin Smith on you. You're not going to get a fucking word in.
Donna, we need to have a talk about turning Paul's mic off. No, but it is incredible that Donna and Tucky have given us this opportunity and platform to, to branch out further than our YouTube and audio abilities. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Certainly. But it's going to be interesting, like say, and again,
it's going to be something.
It could be the end of Team Podcast. So
it could be the start of Nerdy Up North solo hour.
Just
The new world order.
The following week, it's just Paul sat here.
I was going to photo-impose a picture of Mr. McMahon and like I say, over his mouth to say, no chance in hell.
Oh, God.
And Jake can do the Shane McMahon shuffle. And,
it's all right, Jake.
The money.
The name on the contract does say Nerdy Up North.
It's all right, Jake. We've got Twitch. We'll be fine.
That's our WCW.
Yes.
But yes, it's going to be fun and games. So I know this one's a bit of a short one tonight, but if you put them both together, it's
a long one.
It's a long one. Like I say, we didn't mock anyone too much. Like I say, thank you so much for the good questions as well. It was quite entertaining. Like I say, some of the questions we couldn't ask. Thanks, Donna.
No,
thanks, good.
no.
Thanks, Laura.
Donna's were the worst, mate. Donna's were
37 dicks in a row.
Oh my God, let's wrap this up before it takes a turn.
Try not to suck any dicks to the parking lot.
If anyone doesn't know, listen to the Kevin Smith podcast if you don't understand those references.
Pixar, man.
Always be plugging.
Yes. But yes.
I love how we started this podcast in part 1 with, we're a Pixar family, and we've ended with 37 dicks in a row.
It happens all the time.
Do you want to see a donkey show?
Oh my God.
No, but if you like shows, we run a Twitch channel.
Yes.
Nerdy Up North on Twitch. Good Brandon.
Get Kinky Kelly in the studio.
Brilliant.
That could be a name for Kelly as well. Next on Kinky Kelly. But yes.
I can't think of the song right now that comes on after that. Sorry.
I can just remember the facial expressions. That's all. Alice is good. Fuck you, pillow pants. Fuck you.
Yeah. Pillow pants. Fucking hell. If anyone's just joining YouTube, welcome to Nerdy Up North.
You got a friend in me.
You can't go from 37 dicks
to Randy Newman.
No.
I mean, you can, but it gives it a totally different meaning.
What has happened?
There's Charlotte dropping the dirtiest joke of the night. That's all, folks.
I can't wait to do the Looney Tunes episode.
Oh, God.
What's up, Dan? But yes. So we are back on Sunday. Funny enough, we are returning. I
love how serious you went there.
Keep it professional here, guys. Come on. keep it my level there.
Are you serious?
Sorry,
what are we doing on Sunday?
Sam has went all Karen on us. Can I speak to your manager, please?
It would be in a very harsher tone than that. What are we doing on Sunday?
Top 5 cult movies. So.
I'm not missing the cult movies. Get it in.
So Grant has been preparing. Kelly's been very quiet. So I'm quite scared and interested what their top 5s are going to be.
Have we ever done one with Grant and Kelly before together?
No.
It got removed.
That's gonna be interesting.
Like I said, there were technical issues for that one, but that's fine.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one.
Yes. Then the week after, Sam's away, and we've got Grant and Jake in, and is Charlotte joining us for that one?
Charlotte's taking my place for the evening.
As Charlotte, I ain't asked about that, or is Charlotte? This is the first time Charlotte's finding out about this.
No, when we went out for dinner, I said,
yes,
I can't
we did.
do the Sunday of the such and such date, and you went, Charlotte, your co-host that night.
Right.
You said it.
Oh well.
You've got to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie and Street Fighter the movie and Mortal Kombat Annihilation first, though.
I was going to say Power Rangers, but that's not the same at all.
I didn't know video game.
That's why Sam's not going to be on that one, shall we say?
Good job. I'd have really embarrassed myself.
And we are looking to try and fit in as well our review of Alien. So
oh yes, that's right.
We've all got to watch that, so we'll try and fit in that at some time. I think Jake and Sam, I might join them, I might not. It depends on how busy I am. Are going to be doing a Twitch stream on Friday. I think they were talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking to
See what games they're going to be playing. And then we'll look to get more. And like I say, Charlotte's Book Club again, still plugging away. There's a lot.
Yes.
Remember as well, if you have read a book and you want to write a review, we are putting reviews up on the Nerdy Up North website. So get in contact with Charlotte or me, or send an email. All the information is on the Book Club Facebook page as well.
We are going to organise that book exchange we've been talking about. Probably this week, hopefully.
At some point, somewhere over the rainbow. But yes. Yes, so this has been our talk about Pixar over 2 legs. So we got there in the end. And Sam didn't die. So
not this time. But thank you for doing it for the part 2. I really appreciate it.
And she did get a negative test today, so she's Rona free as well.
Boom.
But yes. So yes, thank you guys. Thanks to everyone in the chat. You've been amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Kev's plugging Charlotte's feet. He wants £10 per photo. So guys, get that plugging.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
1 sub equals 1 tour. Get in, Donna.
So yeah,
love it.
Same bat time, same bat chime. Thank you guys.
Stay nerdy, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.